lesson I taught you this formula. Some people didn't like it. That's fine for you to not like things. Sometimes I don't like coming to work, or sometimes, okay? That's fine. But unfortunately, if that's the formula, that's how it works. I can't dumb it down anymore. That's literally how it works. If you don't like this, that's fine, because I'm going to give you a little head start, okay? I'm going to teach you about an app that you can use on a calculator that lets you work out any compound interest question, and it's called TVM Solver. So these are the notes that are in front of you right now. You're probably not going to have a graphics calculator right now. If you're going to do year 12 maths, you're going to be asked to buy one. So buy one off a Gumtree or something for $30. Don't ever spend full price on one, okay? I've got a link to an emulator. So can you open Daymap, please? On Daymap, if you scroll down past the lesson, so this is what today's lesson looks like. But if you scroll down, can you go to this lesson note that says ti84calc.com? Can you open that, please? I want you to have this open on your device right now. Apologies for the ads. I don't know, anyone here know what an emulator is? Mainly nerdy kids would know what that is. Like an emulator is when you get the computer to pretend to be something. So you might emulate a PlayStation or something. What is this doing? This is emulating a graphics calculator. The graphics calculator that you'll have access to in year 12. So you might as well practice using it, okay? So this has just been turned on. So if you want to get to the calculator part, can you press the clear button, please? The clear button under the arrows. Press that. So your graphics calculator is more complicated than a normal calculator because it's got a bunch of apps to it. Can you sit down and be quiet? If you were sorry, you wouldn't have come late. Huh? Bathroom, you got Baker's Delight. So the way that this calculator works, the home screen of the calculator is just the calculator. So you can use this like a normal calculator. Why is it cool? Because you can see all the working out steps. It doesn't delete all the previous steps. You can do heaps of maths, +3. See how it's got answer there? That's not what I'm using it for today though, okay? What I'm using it today for is, so I'm going to open both at the same time. So the notes will be a little smaller. Just make sure that you've got the graphics calculator open. I want to show you how this app called TVM Solver works. So can you press on the calculator? Can you press the apps button here? Can you press that apps button there down to the right of the alpha button in green? Can you see a menu that says finance? Press enter on that. Can you see a menu that says TVM Solver? Press enter on that. That is the app on the calculator that finds out everything about compound interest. And it's going to be much quicker than the formula I gave you. When you do your test, you're going to be allowed to have your device open, and you can have this calculator open and your device calculator. If anything else opens up, your test is mine. I'll do what I did with this test in the first time around. Remember that? It was a little You? Yeah? I'll rip up your test. Do it? Okay. That's what I did. So I need to show you, what do these variables mean? I'm saving you writing the notes down. They're here. What does N stand for? It's the total number of periods for the whole arrangement. So if I was compounding monthly, 12 times a year, and I did it for 5 years, that would be 60 periods in total. I is the interest rate. You don't need to convert. So if the question says it's 5%, you just put 5 in I. PV is the principal. That's what you start off with. PMT is the regular payment. We're going to leave that for now. FV is what your money grows to. PY and CY. PY is the payments per year. Compounding. CY is the compounding periods per year. For your year level, those numbers, PY and CY, will always stay the same. Leave PMT as N. Can you see our end is highlighted? Leave that in N. We never change that. I need to show you how this works. So we need to quickly, how do you use TVM Solver? Firstly, it only works for compound interest. If it's simple interest, do you remember the formula for simple interest? What was it? Yes. So if it's simple interest, you'd use this. As soon as there's a compound interest question, I suggest that you use the graphics calculator. But if you can't work it out from today, use the formula from Wednesday. The only trick to TVM Solver is the numbers are positive or negative depending on where the money goes. If I'm putting money from my wallet in the bank, the sign of the number has to be negative. If the money's coming from the bank, to me, it comes out as positive. The way that we make things positive and negative is not the take sign here. The take sign underneath multiplication, that's subtraction, that's not negative. Can you see a little negative sign in brackets next to enter? That's how we make things negative using TVM Solver. The best way to do this would just be to demonstrate it. So we'll look at Kanye. Kanye invests 15 grand in an account, paying 4.25% per annum, and it compounds monthly. So how do we use TVM Solver? Enter everything that you know. What's the interest rate for Kanye? In this question, I highlighted it. I don't need to convert it. So I just go 4.25 next to I on the calculator. PV is the principal. How much did Kanye invest in the account? One extra zero? 15,000. But he had 15 grand. He put it in the bank. So what sign would it be? Positive or negative? Negative, because it went from him into the bank. So how do I make that negative? I press the negative in the brackets and 15,000. Does it say here anything about, does Kanye put money regularly into the account? What is this? It just says he put 15 grand in there and left it alone. So PMT is nothing. Compounding monthly. If something's compounding monthly, how many times will that happen in a year? How many? 12. Good. So PY and CY will both be 12. So the only working out I need to do is how many compound periods will there be after 5 years? Because it says, how much is it going to grow to in 5 years? 60. Good. You can do the maths in the N. 5 years. See how I did 5? And then I times it by 12. You can do the maths up there, 60 as well. You don't need to quit out and do other things. So how do I use TVM Solver? Put all the data in, highlight the thing that I want to, which is FV. Can you see a green button on your calculator? What does that green button say? Alpha. Can you see in green above enter, it says solve? The enter button, it says solve in enter. That's what I want to do. I want to solve FV. So press alpha and press enter. And that tells me that Kanye's 15 grand is going to grow to $18,544.53 after 5 years. Because you're using the calculator to do all this maths, your working out should look like this. Just show me what you put in the calculator. What did I put in as N? 60. What did I put in as I? 4.25. What did I put in as PV? Negative 15 grand. What did I put in as PMT? It was nothing. FV is what I solved for, so put a star next to that. It says $18,544.53 to 2 decimal points. PY and CY were both 12. That's kind of slow right now because you've never used this app before. But when you do more TVM solvers, it's going to be quicker. At B, how much interest did he earn on the investment? What did he put in the first place? Good. So if I want to know the interest, I go, what did it grow to minus what he put in the first place. So he would have earned $3,544.53 of interest if he put 15 grand in the account and left it alone. Can I ask you please to get this example? Because the next example, I'm not testing you on the next example, but it will be helpful for your life. Okay? Because who's working here? You are you willing to give us like roundabout numbers of how much you earn so that we can? 20. Okay. Well, after. Can you get that first example, please? We'll do another one. Investment starting with nothing. I won't record it though. Because it'll just be easy for me to say. Can you get the first example? Kanye investing 15 grand and then he just left it alone.
So where am I writing this down?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I printed them out today to save you writing so much. It's in the second page underneath.
So where you get rid of it? So you get a spare pencil?
Just grab one from there.